How does it go? Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright.
Do you believe in werewolves?
I believe that a man lost in the mazes of his mind may imagine that he's anything.
I killed Baylor. I killed Richardson. If I stay around here much longer, you can't tell who's going to be next.
Stop it! Stop it! You're not a child, laddie. You're a grown man, and you believe in the superstitions of a gypsy woman.
No! Who was that? I taught him.
The Ile de France departs from New York Harbor on a mission of war. The French luxury liner is painted a wartime gray, and she carries a wartime cargo. Metals of military use and aircraft. She has aboard a great quantity of airplanes and parts, these consigned to the Allies in Europe. The camera highlights in the world of sports.
Right, biggest day of the year in South Carolina is Big Thursday, when Carolina and Clemson meet for their annual pigskin battle. Passed along from one generation to another, this classic football rivalry has raged for half a century, and thousands of fanatic fans get to their feet as the Clemson Tigers kick off into another grueling contest. Time and again, the offensive shifts back and forth between the Gamecocks and the Tigers. In fact, it's fast and furious all the way, and anybody's game until that final touchdown.
Yes, it's anybody's game.
If you're going down south, you might want to bring your silver bullets, because citizens in the hamlet of Anderson, South Carolina are staying inside and locking their doors at night after hearing howls and screams of a werewolf and finding dozens of mutilated farm animals under the light of that full southern moon. This Wolfman has been spotted in graveyards, backwoods, grazing pastures, and back alleys. Has anyone seen Lon Chaney Jr. lately?
The reason I was out here is because we have a cat problem. Mr. Sullivan tells me we shouldn't be feeding any cats behind a hardware store. It's a place of business. But to God's creatures, what you gonna do, let them starve? So I was working late last night. I come out here to feed Pretty Face. She's my favorite cat. We used to have more cats you could shake a stick at last week, but Lord, something's thinning them down. They're just dying off real fast. I didn't see Pretty Face. I was getting real worried. I walked to the edge, back of the alleyway there. I said, "Here, Pretty Face. Here, kitty, 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 kitty." She didn't come. Then I went a little further, and I saw movement, and I heard a cat screech, and he went, "Meow!" And then I said, "Hey, I saw a man." He turned around and looked at me. He wasn't no man. His eyes is piercing light, like a wolf's. But he weren't no wolf neither. I stood there like a deer in the headlight. Then he lunged at me, and I backed up in the doorway, and I pulled the door open. I slammed it shut and locked it, and I heard the trash can in the alleyway, and he's gone. And I stood there, my heart just racing. When I calmed down, I went in, I called the police. I said, you got to get here quick. They got here fast, but it seemed like an eternity. Got my courage up, and I took the officer out to the back of the alleyway, and he shined a light in the shadows, and what we saw weren't pretty at all. It's 5 dead cats, blood everywhere. Their bellies clawed open like you'd be filleting a fish, pulling the guts out. And I recognized Pretty Face. But Pretty Face didn't have no head anymore. Neither did the other 4 cats. You got to find whatever this is. This creature, this werewolf, because next time the moon shines, he gonna be back. He gonna get somebody. It ain't gonna be a cat.
I was leaving choir practice outside of the church when I heard a sound, and it sounded like a howling. It was such an unusual sound. And I turned and looked, and there was a beast there standing on its hind legs. And when I saw it, I tried to scream, but nothing came out. My throat closed up. So I ran back inside the church, and I slammed the door. The men in there asked what was wrong, and I said, there's something outside and you have to check it out. They came outside, and it was gone. They went to the tombstone there, and all that was there on the ground was half of a dead rabbit. Yeah, I'm still afraid to go outside by myself at night. I haven't done it ever since. My sister tries to make fun of me and comes running and shouting at me and tries to scare me. But I know what I saw. The mayor said he's got some guys that are going to try to hunt it down and get it. I hope he does, because I'm not going to come outside at night by myself again until that happens. People can laugh all they want to at me, but I know what I saw.